It's time for
DodgerHeads.
high fly ball into right field. Dodgers have won it all in 2020. Shohei Ohtani, 50-50 club. Strikes him out. There's a drive. Shohei Ohtani. Freeman hits the ball. She is gone. Birthday party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into Dodger Heads, presented by DodgerBlue.com. This is Dodger Heads Unplugged with Scotty G. Let me change my mic here real quick. There we go. It's great to have you in. Happy Monday. Happy, almost sweep of the San Francisco Giants Monday. Dodgers go in, take 2 of 3 from the San Francisco Giants, at home. A very eventful weekend. I'm super excited. I was, emotional weekend to see Kershaw, all the festivities surrounding that. Look, I appreciate everyone reaching out into the DMs, adding me, finding me on every social media platform possible to let me know their favorite Clayton Kershaw moment from his career. And I appreciate that a bunch. But good to see all the tier ones in here early on. I'm going to keep moving stuff around on here. Feel like there we go. Okay. Tier ones. Thank you for tuning in. A happy off day. There is no baseball going on today. There are like 3 games. The San Diego Padres play. I know that much. I'm keeping tabs on the Cincinnati Reds and the New York Mets. That's a fun little development going on there, heading in toward the postseason. I hope you guys are all okay. Yeah, Ricardo, mic check 1, mic 1 2 1 2. I think we're good now. Move some stuff around. We're all locked in. Things are feeling good, man. It's a good Monday. Like I said, pumpkin spice season. We're all good. I'm going to give everybody a platform today to kind of, sound off on some things. These are the off days. The off days are where it's for the fans, for the people. Some quotes I want to break down from Dave Roberts, Miguel Rojas about stuff with the team from, this past weekend, and kind of how we're looking, toward the postseason. There's some scenarios that got to play out. There's some things you have to keep tabs on, but think about where this team was a couple weeks ago. It's important to keep that in perspective. It's important to keep the plan where I hope that what I like to do on this show is that inform, and kind of give people the mindset that I kind of have with in understanding the quotes from Dave about that this is audition time, and that with that comes some struggles, comes some moments where it's like, why would you do this? Why would you put a guy in this spot? Why would you do it when seemingly they need some wins? But it's about battle testing. It's about seeing where they're at, and especially with how volatile relievers are. Directly speaking to Blake Treinen. And I know, like I tweeted out yesterday that Blake Treinen hasn't been, in my relievers to trust list for a bit. It's just since he's come off the IL, he hasn't looked great. Stuff doesn't look sharp at all. And that's the biggest thing for me. And with Tanner Scott, we saw it, same type of thing. His stuff has looked good. Tanner Scott, big slider heavy. But Dave Roberts is giving everybody the blueprint. He's giving everybody the blueprint. Yeah, Matty Man, 155 games isn't enough, but look, we're going down to the wire with the bullpen. It's definitely not enough for them offensively. I feel like they're ready in a good spot. Starting pitching's in a good spot, but yeah, brother, it's an unnerving piece to the puzzle here with the bullpen. It's going to the wire. We're to have conversations about possibly bringing up a rookie and Roki Sasaki to come up, Kyle Hurt, all these guys. Yeah, all these guys. Yeah, Yule Carter, man. I got you in the chat. All right. Yeah, keep it light today. Don't go too off the rails with everything. I'm not quick to time people out and stuff like that, but let's keep it easy on here. We're talking ball, man. All right. I'm gonna say put everybody up here. It's good to have you in. Foxy, good morning, chat. Rosemary, yes. loud and proud with the pumpkin spice. Don't shy away. It's electric. It's electric. Pen strikes again. TQT. Yes, it does. We're going to talk all about it. Shelly, good morning, everybody. Shelly, hope you're having a beautiful morning. Beautiful morning. Happy Monday. Love everybody get in here. Matty Man again. What's up, brother? You're always fired up. You're always fired up. If you're listening after the fact, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, rate, subscribe, comment, however you want to get into it. Sound off. Sound off on anything. You all know me, big narrative guy. If you've got a narrative, toss it out. You can sell me on it, I'm in. If not, I'm going to tell you to do something better, right? That's how I always am. Shelly's a beast. All you tier ones. Appreciate all you. Yoshi, good to see you, man. Rich, trying to put the M back in Monday. He did. Made it feel like a Monday. Yep. Enrique, yeah, you just stumbled into the best Dodger podcast in town with the best host, Laura. Thank you so much. Appreciate the compliments. It's another week. It's definitely another week here on DodgerHeads Unplugged. We got the best group. We got the best group on here. I know that it's going to be a light group tuning in during off-day Dodger talks are always the ones where people kind of give themselves a break. I sure don't. But it's good to have you all in here. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, however you're listening, does not matter. Give people a chance to trickle in. But I really want to just get straight into it with Dave Roberts and Blake Treinen. After the game, Dave Roberts really, continued to cement his faith in Blake Treinen. He continued to, put that out there, even to him. These players hear what their manager's doing. The manager's reinforcing the player in sidebar conversations and stuff like that. Yeah. And look, for what Blake Treinen has done in his career with the Dodgers, it's hard to overlook that. And people shouldn't, because it's twofold conversation here. Blake Treinen is going to be a part of this bullpen. They need righties. They don't have any righties in the bullpen that people trust. If you can find one right now that's up in with the big league roster, let me know. And don't say I'm a Sheehan, because he's a starter right now. And if he's a reliever, then he's their best right-handed reliever. That's the one. And if you want to say Will Klein, you can sell me on it. Like, his stuff looks elite. But Dave Roberts post game had some quotes. He had some quotes on Blake Treinen here. I'm not going to go through the lengthy ones here, but this was to a question concerning, it says, feel like Blake Treinen can trust, or Dave Roberts can trust Blake Treinen in the highest leverage spots, like this past year, without seeing it in 2025. Dave says, certainly the way he's throwing the ball matters. I've got to trust what I'm seeing and not solely bet on the person or the track record. I think we all need to see a couple good outings, like we saw with Tanner Scott. Side thing. That's what we all needed to see with Tanner Scott. I think a couple good outings, see some refined pitch mix, see some confidence there, because quotes like the entire bullpen lacking confidence is a terrible thing to hear. That's not good. Dave Roberts goes on to say, but most importantly, I want to see the confidence out of him. To be quite honest, I think right now he's not as confident in himself as I am. So I think the main thing is we've got to get that confidence back. So he's had Blake Treinen has had some really rough outings. And Tanner Scott situation, you can draw parallels right there. People wondering why Tanner Scott was going into the ninth at various spots this last week and a half. But he's going to see what he's got and battle test these guys. Do I agree? That's, you can leave that up. You know how I am. I want players to be in positions to win. I understand that, they've got to see what they do. I'm just at this point of the year when these games are mattering, when they're just, you want to see success breeds success. Whether you're okay with Dave keeping the ball in Treinen's hand is another thing. When he had the game the other night, when the Dodgers dominated the Giants, they didn't do a darn thing. And then Treinen goes out there, walks in a run, gets out of it, but it's like he should have felt like he should have been out a while ago. And then yesterday, Dave Roberts leaving Blake Treinen in was a big mistake. I understand it. You're trying to give him the confidence, instill the confidence that you're my guy, but he should have been out a long time beforehand. A long time beforehand. You could have found a way to keep that game in check, find a ball, get it in somebody else's hand, go from there. And that's why I've said before, and you guys have all seen me say it. I trust every single lefty in the Dodgers bullpen, even Robleski, every lefty there is in the bullpen. The righties are the area that I just have nobody with a sustained confidence level in. So I'm trying to get everyone to see the twofold thing in this, that yes, this is a trial run, like Matty Man said, and game 155, all the way up until that point of the year. Everybody knows that Dave Roberts is also searching for those like steady right-handed arms out there because he knows he needs them. And the fact that the media, that fans, that Dave Roberts knows in the front office are saying, we're monitoring what Roki Sasaki has in AAA, Kyle Hurt in AAA. We brought up Will Klein. And Will Klein had one of the most dominant outings from a righty we've seen in a bit with this bullpen. You know what I mean? So that's where Dave Roberts is trying to cast his net a little bit wider. And he's got guys in-house who have done it before. And Blake Treinen back to 2024. But Blake Treinen in 2025 has just looked quite inconsistent. And it's been a big up and down roller coaster for him. When the sweeper is good, it's fine. But right now, it's just the cutter's not getting in a good spot. I keep drawing back to that cutter against Marchand against the Phillies. I keep going against that, where it was like, gotta have it, best pitch, and you throw a cutter that just goes right into a nitro zone. I don't care how bad of a hitter Marchand has been on the year. It's just in that type of count, you throw the flattest cutter I've ever seen straight to a barrel. And he's seen a lot of negative things right now on his ledger. Blake Treinen has. So that's where the lack of success for him. It's like Dave Roberts sees it and he's like, this is a vet in Blake Treinen who I need at the back end of the bullpen. And he's done nothing but be inconsistent, fail, and give up meatballs lately and walk a ton of hitters. So you guys see where I'm at? I get where you'd like just jump off a cliff with him but who else you got? They don't have a righty right now, and you can't go into a postseason with only trusting your left-handed arms. Just doesn't work like that. So Dave's got to get every bit of juice out of the squeeze of Blake Treinen. It's not pretty. But when it comes to the bullpen, you have to. And that's going to come at the cost of some wins every now and then. And if this game was not a 1-0 ball game, until Michael Conforto, and Blake told me, he said, I need to give Michael Conforto his props, and I will. Won't be a full segment, but shout out to Michael Conforto. He's looked better lately. But I saw someone, I think it was TQT on Twitter, said he's owed us. Michael Conforto's owed us for the last 6 months. He owes us. Okay, we'll talk in the post. But back to the bullpen. A couple really good quotes. Dave Roberts believes that Blake Treinen is very mechanically driven. And he gets caught up. He says, I think Blake gets caught up in the mechanic part of it. That when it comes time to postseason, he's just so in tune with himself. And then when that postseason thing flips on, then he finds a different gear. It's got to happen for me right now. Blake Treinen needs to flip it because they need someone who's going to be able to pitch at the back end of games. Can't be hanging sweepers, can't be hanging these cutters, and go from there. All right. Go through a little bit of people in chat here. Hey, Dodgers Rick, what's up, buddy? Says, hey, Scott, thanks for the show. Absolutely, man. Look, Monday, no Dodgers, no baseball. He says, I'm from the East Coast, so evening shows are tough. I totally understand. I totally get that. So we're here Monday through Friday on DodgerHeads Unplugged with me. We're going into the postseason. I'm going to keep reminding everybody. I talk to people, my other work, and I meet a lot of Dodgers fans. And I've turned a lot of people on to the show, and especially Dodger Blue, and it just gives people a great outlet. Look, we're the most honest, independent Dodgers outlet you've got in the Dodger sphere. No AI social media posts. Not going to find that corny garbage here. We're all ball all the time, and we've got a terrific staff doing it. Man, shout out to the shows doing AI to do their work for them. Slobs, get better. That stuff's nuts. All right, I'm going to keep going through. Yeah, TQT, what's up, buddy? He says that was me. Ozas, I don't know where I saw it, but it made me chuckle, man. It made me laugh. Michael Confortis owes us for the last 6 months. I'm not afraid. You guys know that about me. I put out a stance and someone starts to prove them wrong. I'm a Dodgers fan. I want them to win more than anything. I'm not afraid to give anybody their props. Rosemary says Treinen looked like he had zero confidence. It's been that way. It's been that way. It's tough when you see a player at the top of their game and then it's just not working out. Because like Mookie Betts, when Mookie was struggling, there's 8 other hitters in the lineup, and the beat can go on. But when you're Blake Treinen, you're a reliever on the mound, and things aren't clicking, and you're expected to be, Tanner Scott, same thing. Expected to be a big time name at the back of the pen, and it's not working out. You got nowhere to hide. You're on an island. You're gonna hear some boos directly. So Rosemary, yeah, it looked like he had no confidence here. Let's see. He always says healthy starters end of season as a bullpen cost. So you're talking about the give and take with the baseball gods. Yeah, I guess. Give and take with the baseball gods. Let's see. Norm says, how long are some fans going to lean on the flip a switch nonsense? It's late September, man. Look, Norm, I think that when we talked about that with the offense, like a couple weeks ago, I think that switch is permanently there. We've seen consistent pieces of this offense that are sustainable. When it comes to manufacturing runs, working at bats, guys kind of feel their role at the moment. I think there's a good pulse with the team on who's feeling what, and that's a great thing. That's a fun thing to watch. So you don't have to. I don't think we generally have to worry about that. The Dodgers offense worked the Philadelphia Phillies starters. I think they've got a good handle on top end pitching. So I think that we can hang that out. Vincent said, who we throwing shots at? You guys know. You guys can go look around. Take one look around Twitter. Who's what social media platforms are using AI and stuff to put out articles and tweets. Give me a break. That stuff's so lame. The big 2-5. Fans are smarter than that. They deserve more than that. Dodger Blue will never give you that. Never. We won't stoop to those lows. We got baseball people here. Okay. Rosemary wants to know. You guys can put it in chat. I'm not. I just throw the breadcrumbs. You guys can file them out. All right. Let's see. But chat, do we see that a little bit? You see what I'm talking about though, about the momentum piece with the confidence with Dave Roberts. That's his mindset right now. That's where Dave Roberts is focusing and trying to find those pieces. But yesterday in AAA, Kyle Hurt, good inning. Brock Stewart, good inning. And Roki Sasaki looks great. That's fun. But there's not a lot of time left. Not a lot of time. And you've got to battle test these guys. So I understand the pause. And Norm's bringing it up. I get it. The bullpen has no switch to flip. The lefties, I feel, are in good hands. I feel the lefties are in a really good spot. Okay? I think they're in a really, really good spot. So I'm confident with them. Anthony Bonda, Jack Dreyer, my gosh, Justin Robleski. I'm blanking on one. Don't do this to me. I'm got too many things going on. Tanner Scott's getting there. Hold on. Don't get on me, chat. Stop. Okay. I'm forgetting one. I know it. No, I'm good. Vesia, thank you. Vesia. Appreciate that. And Alex Vesia. Feel confident there. Thank you, admin. Thank you. We'll talk about that, Vincent. I'll put that up. I'm going to star it, and then we'll go back to it. But yes, Alex Vesia. Thanks, admin. Dave says this. I appreciate you guys giving me a filler piece before my next segment. He says, Roki, Kyle Hurt, Will Klein, all better options than Treinen and Yates. Yes, we've talked ad nauseum about Kirby Yates. I appreciate him. I appreciate his career. He looked like a great signing prior. We just don't know when Father Time would catch up to him, and the tunneling with the fastball and the split piece would catch up to him as well. Yeah. And it's catching up. It's catching up. So he says, Mixfield thinks Scott thinking about football. Not a chance. Not a chance. I'm a Tennessee Titans fan. You think I'm thinking about football? No, no way. Diehard Titans fan. I'm not thinking about football. I didn't even watch the game yesterday. I didn't even watch the Titans game. I was at the softball fields coaching. Daughter had her best day in 2.5 years as a softball player. Looking great. Big shout out to the kiddo. She's working hard. All our gals. All right. Yoshi says Roki's just a PR stunt. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I don't think so. Roki Sasaki is a legitimate option. I really do think so. It's a long shot in terms of that he hasn't done it before. The bullpen's a different thing for him. But I think like with the Dodgers mainly. But I really think that with his refined mix here, tinkering with the expanded usage, this can do nothing but better him. You know, cut piece, experimenting with the sinker. Cutter looked great. So it's just that's hype because it's someone that, you know, you haven't peeled all the layers back yet. I don't think they're going to shove him into the playoffs either. They're going to make sure he's ready. They have every right to baby him and figure him out and make sure he's prepared and confident. Yeah, and Dave says when your other options are Yates and Treinen, come on down, Roki. Yeah, it's the same thing I look at with Kyle Hurt. I think they're going to really analyze the both of them and how much they have to get out of the both of them. Will Klein having an absolute dominant day over the weekend. I really want to pull up his stuff here. Pretty sure I bookmarked it and how good he looked. I really hope I bookmarked it. If not, I'll be bummed. Let's see. I got to look up Will Klein's stuff. A couple of my favorite accounts had great things on them. Let's see here. But his stuff looked sharp. He looked electric, pumping triple digits here. I can't find it, and I'm upset about it. But his stuff plus was off the charts. Yes, thank you, Carlos. Said his stuff plus looked really good. Appreciate it. Yeah, I can't find it right now. My account's not popping up that I put a lot of faith in for it. If anybody can put those numbers up, do that legwork for me, I would greatly appreciate it. But he looked sharp. He had the command on the mound. He had the moxie. We talked about the confidence. We talked about having, someone's got to go there from the right side, have some balls, dominate your spot. He's playing for it. Maybe that works out in his favor, or maybe he's just coming in having a little bit of a blow in the minors and then coming up here. But his stuff looked really good, and they're searching for someone with plus stuff from the right-hand side, and they desperately need that because putting a lot of weight on, and I don't think it's going to be Emmett Sheehan. I think they're going to try to carve a spot for him. If he's a long guy, then cool, but you can't rely on that every other day. People are going to see fans who know Emmett Sheehan's a starter aren't going to say he's going to go every 2 days. They know that he's going to be on a schedule that is true to what his skill set is and how stretched out he is. So they're not going to push him into a condensed spot. They're going to find a way to maximize him. I'm just curious to see, and Norm brings this up here. He says curious about a back-to-back, and I am as well, because the issues with Will Klein were the walks, and that's something that when it's in the postseason, you just can't afford that, no matter how good your stuff is. You get keyholed in the postseason, and it's the same type of thing. And Will Klein and Edgardo Enriquez are one and the same when it comes to having great stuff, but staying in within the zone, around the zone, getting your chases, getting bad contact there. And Carlos says, give me Edgardo's stuff and 102 and live with the results. It's just a matter of, can he stay away from the free passes? And that's hyper important. So I think that's something that I'm going to really keep an eye on. And going from there, I need to find my stuff here. I need to find my pitch metrics here. I need to find Will Klein. because now they've got someone in house here. All right, can't do it. I give up. I give up. But he looks good. And the fact is, they don't have other options in the bullpen. You've got to think. If you're thinking about Kyle Hurt and you're thinking about Roki Sasaki at this point of the year, you've got severe issues in your bullpen from the right side, and that's about it. Chat, shout out to you. Got a super chat here from JY. Roki did great in the NPB Wildcard Series last year. Only game against the Chivalante Marines won. He says it was as a starter, but he's now found his footing. He has. He really has. He's as he gets more acclimated here, expand. Everybody knew his fastball was a problem. That was a big thing in his pitch teams. How can you fix it? And now that they're expanding his mix, that's how he's going to have sustained success as a starter in the major leagues. And some people have hinted that his success is out of the bullpen. Well, from a Dodgers standpoint and a cost standpoint, it doesn't really matter. He's on a minor league contract. However they figure it out, however he finds success, his success is going to be good for his career. But if he expands that mix, he can go multiple times through an order, has that length, able to sequence and learn the big league game. He'll be all right. He'll be all right. He did take a step back, but that was just because it was the hype that put him up there, put him at number one on a ton of platforms. But he had to adjust, and right now he's adjusting at the very back end of his rookie season. So still 23 years old, still tons of time, and still with a shot to pitch in the postseason for the Dodgers. And I think that's a legitimate thing because right now you look around the bullpen, it's Edgardo Enriquez, Blake Treinen, Will Klein, Kirby Yates. So two of those arms, guys. Thank you, TQT. He says Will Klein at 111 Pro Stuff Plus. So his four-seamer looked great. His secondary offerings looked competitive, and that's what we can ask for because Blake Treinen hasn't had competitive secondary stuff. I was impressed against Schwarber when he forced a four-seamer in her half and got a punch out, and I thought that was a great pitch. But other than that, he's just living way too much out of the strike zone. Nothing's near it. It's been a tough go. It's a tough go. Stuff moves so much. We've talked about that in the past, and you're all aware of it. When your stuff's so good, if it's just not competitive, hitters can lay off. If you don't give them a reason to swing because everything's out of the zone, you're in a tough place right now. And he's missing by a lot. Feet. Like he's not missing by inches. We're talking about feet. And the contact is there. The hard contact is there. And that's a tough piece for him. And Kirby Yates, if you've already wrote Kirby Yates off your postseason roster, then you can look at those results there. You can't go into a postseason with all lefties. There's been years when the Dodgers have one lefty. Like it's, 1-2 lefties. And now we're talking about that's the only side we have trust for. Got to find guys. And if Matty Manier's still here, that's why we're still talking about the bullpen. I got faith that they'll figure that out. They've got options. It's not like they have nothing. They have options with upside and guys with good stuff. It's just you're running a lot, real out of time. And that's why Dave Roberts has to find out. He's got to find out because I feel like he knows what his lefty's got. He has no idea what his righty's got. And that's why Kirby Yates goes into a game. That's why Blake Treinen's going into games. And I think he feels good with Edgardo's stuff. It's about finding those pieces for him. I don't think it's high leverage for Edgardo. Not yet. I think he's going to try to figure out what he's got in Will Klein. So we're going to see some more stuff in there. Rosemary says we went to having no lefties to only lefties. Yep, crazy. Let's see. Who do you trust today? Kopech or Treinen? Treinen, because Kopech is done. He's hurt. He's done. I think is either his time with the Dodgers is over or he's going to sign one of those 1-and-1 deals. Ewell says time to be unconventional. This is an unconventional time. Just with the righties, though. I feel good with everything else. I really do. Yeah, Dave says he's on IL, won't be an option. Michael Kopech won't be an option. He's hurt. They think a couple things. Shoulder, elbow. And he's had those things in the past. And he's going into free agency here. So. Foxy, low risk, high reward with Roki. I mean, with an arm that young, that has that much, that live of an arm, there's always risk, overuse and stuff. But he's been on this schedule here as a reliever. You just got to it's about the up downs, and it's about the back to backs, and be pretty cautious with that. And it's about getting your arm and your body amped up to pitch every other day instead of every fifth, sixth day. And that's where the pause will come in. So they'll be pretty be pretty careful with how they use them. But I won't act like I won't be eager to see what Roki Sasaki has out of a bullpen against a big league team. That will be something I would be eager to see as a fan, analyst. And Yosh says this, very high risk psychologically for sure. But I think he's already been through that this year. He already saw, like, he had the success early on in the series, the international series. Looked all right. Stuff looked good, but I think he realized that I don't think Roki's that kind of guy. He's a very humble man, very humble individual. I think he understands it was going to be a tough road. And I think he got a big taste of it. And I've got a ton of confidence in him. He's a competitive player. And when you know your stuff's that good, I've got a lot of confidence in Roki. I think he's been through it this year. And he's that battle-tested road for him, and having your work your way to success is something for a young player that I think we all can resonate with, kind of that underdog story, if you will, but just that comeback story where that rookie season had so much hype, and now he's trying to work his way into a very, loaded roster and find a way where they desperately need some, his services if he can provide them in the bullpen. Yeah. Let's see here. All right. Let's do this. Let's transition here. The Dodgers are directly feeling the momentum heading into the playoffs, and I think it's a good place for us to do it, considering we're talking about them feeling fairly good about their offense, them feeling really good about the starting pitching, and now they can kind of sit in this 3 seed and go. The Padres play today, so pending the results of their game, the Dodgers right now sit, I believe it's 3 games up on the San Diego Padres in the division. It would take a pretty hefty, not collapse. Like, there's been a lot of collapses around the league so far. There's still one currently going on, multiple going on, with the Astros collapse and the Mariners, the Detroit Tigers and the Guardians chasing after them, and the Mets, and then the Cincinnati Reds chasing them down now. So there's been quite a bit. So with the Dodgers, you can kind of look ahead. I'm okay looking ahead. Dodgers go ahead here with the Arizona Diamondbacks. They're still playing, definitely going to play hard against the Dodgers to do what they can to knock them off or not have them feeling as good going into the postseason. And then you wrap up the year in Seattle, which is going to be a good series against MVP candidate, big dumper, Cal Raleigh, making history, passing the Mick. Cal Raleigh's a dog. What a beast. But the Dodgers are feeling good momentum heading into the playoffs. And on this show, and smart baseball fans and people who play sport, momentum is a real thing. Hitting is contagious. Pitching is contagious. You want to give the ball to somebody else. You want to match the success of the pitcher prior if they had it. I think that stuff's real things. I buy into it. You feel that. You see it in games. So I'm big on momentum building with your team. You want to be in a good spot. There are rare times where you go into the post where you're just rolling in, slogging your way in, and nothing happens. The Dodgers have done it in the past where it's been the opposite. But with a team that has had low points that are perplexing this year, the Dodgers' momentum at this point is something that even the veteran players are taking note of. Even they are speaking out about. And directly to Miguel Rojas right here. Good quote, really good quote that he had. To a question of, to Miguel Rojas, does playing better now add some confidence to the team? Miguel Rojas said, quote, "Yeah, I mean, winning always gives you confidence. Whenever you go out there and win a baseball game, you're going to have confidence. It's going to be better because everybody's going to be enjoying the moment, regardless of how it looks. We don't care." And this is important for me right here, this next part. He says, regardless of how it looks, we don't care how it looks. At this point, it's about it's not about the process, it's about the results. So that, for me, thinks that and understands that they feel their process is at a good spot where they can now look to implement that process and have the results just be the overlying factor. And I think that's vastly important because I'm big on process. If it looks bad, if the process looks bad, but you can get the results, I'm still annoyed at the process. That's 101. That I teach that at the kid level, 10U level, 8U level, all that. Your process has to be better, better than the result. The result is cool, but the process has to be very important. He goes on to say that's what we're chasing and that's what we're hunting. We're hunting the results, and that's been happening lately for us. So we're happy and motivated that this is going to keep going for October. Um, interesting quotes from Miguel Rojas, who for all purposes is the outspoken guy in the clubhouse, which is funny because he's a role-playing middle infielder, but he's been there, done that. He's a veteran in the clubhouse, has all these superstars around him, and does not shy from speaking up, speaking his mind. He can kind of read between the lines with a lot of these players. So I appreciate that about him. Different points, I wanted him off the team for performance purposes, but he has proved to be the guy who has no problem speaking out, and he's very insightful with how he breaks these things down. And we've seen it. Winning is contagious. The Dodgers have stepped up against these teams. They definitely could have swept the Philadelphia Phillies in Dodger Stadium. That's for sure. Outside of bullpen blowups, the Dodgers could have swept the Phillies. You could have swept the San Francisco Giants at home. Definitely could have done it. And right now they're playing terrific baseball. I like what they've got going on. And that's why I believe that the momentum with the team they have currently, the offense, you can kind of put your hat on and enjoy it. They're going up there competing. Shohei's getting hot. He is scorching. He is steaming. Mookie, same thing. And that's the way that I see it, guys. Conforto, for however he's doing, just find some run, man. Just find some run. You owe the team this much. You owe the fans this much. Find your spot. Don't care. Team around you's playing well. Just do whatever you got. Your team's going to look at him like an easy out. They're just going to pitch to him. Don't miss your mistakes, man. Don't miss your mistakes, Conforto. The big Ford. Do it for the people that hung on to you. That blind faith held on to you. You owe it to them. So I'm confident with the team right now. I'm fairly confident with what they're doing. And how can't you? There's going to be a segment. I think we're going to do this in the next week or so. I'm not sure if it'll be on one of the big shows later on at night or here. I might get a couple people on and join me. But this is the best. This is the best position Dodgers team with the big hitting stuff, offense, starting pitching in a really long time. And that's what gives me a lot of confidence there. Rosemary says this. Well, we might see the Phillies and the DS, so we need the momentum. They needed the look. They needed the look against the Phillies offense against the Dodgers starters, because I think Bob Nightingale put the stat out, and whoever put it out, but I read it from there. It was like the Phillies hitters batted like 054 against Dodgers starting pitching. Come on. What type of hot streak are they on? Benny Rohrfed comes in, do the thing. Glass now is all out of sorts the other day, gets it back in check, able to stay in. Dodgers win a ball game. That's the type of stuff that didn't happen early in the year. Dodgers starting pitching would have a blow up, and then it would be over with. They weren't going to scratch that. They weren't going to come back like that. But now they're making it happen. They're helping each other out. The bullpen just has to keep it at bay. Keep it at bay. And when it's good, it's good. It's just you see it from the right-handers that it's not. So that's where Dave's trying to hand the ball to them as much as possible. And they're picking each other up. You see it. Tommy Edmonds saving a franchise. Has a bat at bat one. Goes out, infield pop-up, and then goes out next AB, Oppo homer. They're doing uncharacteristic things in terms of that earlier in the year, you wouldn't have expected it. Now they're doing it. But they were playing at such a good level in the early on in the season, everybody just expected them to coast, as did I. And that's understandable. We talked about 110 win season. But they're putting themselves in a good spot. It's not like, just imagine if the Dodgers were on the flip side of that Philly series and our offense went 0-54 against 3 starters combined and still won 2 of 3. You probably wouldn't feel good. because you'd see the process was bad, the result was there, and that's not good. And we should be looking at that more. That the Dodgers have had success against the meat and potatoes of teams. It's just been the part that Dave Roberts is going out and tinkering with and trying to find out who's got the run, who's got the moxie to go out and close out ball games. And that's where we're at today. That's the picture we painted today on DodgerHeads Unplugged. I put that right out there for you. So you can take that however you want it, put it on a tee. Hope I explained myself because that's how I see that this team's got it. They're picking each other up. Dave's got himself working. It's a good spot. We're going to go into questions. Again, everybody, if you're brand new here to the channel, make sure you're subbing. Make sure you're liking everything. We're on the road to 100K. It's been a great Monday conversation with you. Vincent, we can put this up here. It says, wait, can we talk about Will Smith being out with a fracture? Do you think Ben Roethlisberger will step up in the playoffs? So his offense is never a thing that like I'm going to, bank on, but he's competitive. He's going up there to be competitive at the plate. It's not where he's going to step up there. If a moment happens, it's broken clock stuff because his career stuff is not the best. So I'm not going to say Roethlisberger's going to go up to the dish and have a big at bat. He might lay down a big bunt. He might lay down a big bunt in a big spot, but he is going up there competing at the plate. It's where his value comes behind the plate. And that's why Dave Roberts vocally said that he's going to be getting the lion's share of the starts because of how he handled the staff, because of the hot streak that the pitching has been on and how much they've praised him. He's a stalwart. He's a servant to the pitching staff. Can't say enough good things about Benny Rowe. Very impressed with him. Andrew Friedman spoke pregame the other day about trading away Hunter Fiducia to the Tampa Bay Rays and how fortunate they are that they got catching depth in return for that. Imagine where they would be without him. Imagine where they'd be without Benny Roethlisberger. Not something that, if there's a quote, somebody like put like a pic, like screenshot myself and then put like one of those quote things over and say, imagine where the 2025 Dodgers would be without Benny Roethlisberger. Show me that in like 30 years and I'll never believe that was a thing. And it's a thing. And it's a thing. But that's where I'm at, Vincent. Yeah. Will Smith being out's a big deal. Rosemary says, what is your take on Andy Pages' base running and throwing decisions? Andy Pages is a very aggressive player. And if he was on, somebody said this to me yesterday, if Andy Pages was on any other team with the amount of kind of boneheaded base running decisions he makes and throwing decisions he makes, it would be a much bigger deal. With the Dodgers, it's a big deal, but the team around him picks him up. But man, my take, Rosemary, he is somebody told he's a Yasiel Puig in a different life. Without as much flair. Without as much flair. Yeah. He's got to figure it out. I hope it doesn't cost him in the post. I don't think it will. I think they'll keep him at bay a little bit. He just plays way too loosey-goosey. Keep him out of those spots, though. Arm plays. The arm plays. Hit your cutoff. Hey, Andy, hit your cutoff when it's there. Line drive from Tommy Edman. Stay closer to the bag. You don't need to get off right there. There's no point. You got nowhere to go. Where are you going? Where are you going? That's what I'm talking about. She says good comparison for sure. It's just a matter of players playing, outside of structure. If they feel comfortable in that, that's where he's at. But he's got to find that base. He's got to tap into that baseball IQ big time. He needs to tap into that. He's in an org with some of the players with the best baseball IQ. Absorb that from some of them, Andy. And I know it's there. He just loses that a little bit too much. Jose says Pai's going to play a big part in the postseason. Yeah, for sure. I totally agree. All these guys are going to have their shot. The moment finds you. The moment finds you. It's just a matter of we recognize it when they succeed in that spot. And when they fail, then you talk about it, and the moment finds you. He did it against the Mets. And then Francisco Alvarez decided that he was just going to try to big time him. Do it again, Andy. All right. This wasn't a question, but he says, I like Snell in the wild card, use him in the NLDS. Yeah, put him up there. Game one guy for me. Blake Snell's game one guy for me. Alex, great to have you in here. Alex says, do you think they leave Snell, I would say off for the NLDS to neutralize? Let me see. NLDS? No, I don't. I don't think so. Alex says, do you think they leave Blake Snell for the NLDS to neutralize Schwarber and Harper in 2 of those games? No, you don't. You don't ever game plan for that. You play for the now. You play for that series right in front of you, and you figure out the rest when you can. That's what you do. You figure out the rest when you can. I think all of the Dodgers starters, Alex, have a good feel, and I think their game planning's in a good spot where they feel they can handle that. And I know Schwarber is having any other league on any other planet that doesn't involve Shohei Ohtani. Schwarber can go out and win an MVP doing what he's doing. But I think Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper can take a game over against anybody. But I think the starting pitching feels good about where they're at. And Blake Snell is one of their 2 best starters right now. And you can't push him back. You've got to utilize him. It's a good point. It's a good thing to bring up, but you have to put your best guys out there. You think about the next series when you get there. When the postseason comes, that's how you have to look at it. 2024 was a very unique series, but we got to see Dave Roberts play legitimately for the next day when it came time to look. We've got to strategically lose. We got to see, roll the dice. If it hits, cool. If not, no sweat. Get the horses back up there. But you've got to put your best guys. You got to put your best guys. Karma talking about Glasnow or Ohtani for the wild card game 3. And you talk about Glasnow getting rocked. He just didn't have it. He just flat out did not have it. I know he was at 50 pitches. He says 50 pitches in the second. I know. But then he honed it back in, finished strong. Benny Rortvedt, kept him at bay, whichever. He found some zone. So Tyler Glasnow, he can get wild at times. We've seen that in the past. He's had the highest walk rate of any of their starters. And that's considering Blake Snell. That's the biggest part of his game. He will not give you a hitter's pitch. He's going to give you a pitcher's pitch no matter what, even if that means putting you on first base. Does not matter. Avoid the big damage. Take your walk. Go ahead. But Glasnow is not that type of guy. He's going to go for the big strike out there. I don't think he does the same thing as Blake Snell. But we've seen Glasnow have a great run in the second half here. They can mix it up however they want. I think he's the one that, if it's game 3, I'm going either like Ohtani or Yamamoto there. I think Glasnow or Snell goes game 1. If they want to go Ohtani, cool. But I'm Snell game 1. I'm going Snell game 1. Alex, I'll star that one here, and I'll bring it back up. I've got thoughts on who I'd prefer to play, and it won't be as flashy as people think. Norm, our Hesson Kim and Alex Call on the outside looking in for a playoff roster spot. I would say Kim. Alex Call even there, but I don't know who you're leaving off. They're both there, so I would say Kim, but I think they value a runner, and he's an elite base runner. Super high clip. I don't think he's been thrown out this year. I looked at that last night because I'm ridiculous. I think he's 13 for 13. He's 13 for 13. So I think that they definitely could use Kim. Elite glove, elite base running, plus base running, plus base running. I don't know who you move out, but if you get to the three catcher conversation, Norm, then it's something that we actually have to talk about. And that's something that Andrew Friedman spoke about the other day. We've got the interview up on Dodger Blue YouTube page if you want to watch that. Blake Williams asked that question. If you get to the spot with three catchers, would you run that? He said, look, you kind of dodge it for a minute, but everything is on the table. It's kind of what he alluded to. Alex, another thing, who'd you rather play, the Reds or the Mets? The Mets collapse is hilarious. Definitely hilarious because they employ Jeff McNeil, and nothing like brings me more joy than Jeff McNeil sorrow. So I think that would be great if the Mets had an epic collapse and missed the post. Um, the Reds got starters: Hunter Green, Andrew Abbott, Lodolo. I don't care who they play though. That's my final thing. Doesn't matter who they play. You're going to match up against the best teams no matter what. It does not matter. You got to beat the team in front of you. I know that's a very coach speak general answer. Doesn't give you much, but that's how it is. Does not matter who they play. For the vibes, the Reds would be fun. The Reds would be fun. I don't want to face Juan Soto, but also it doesn't matter. You're going to face who you're going to face. But I would love to have I think the Reds story would be cool from a baseball perspective. For the Reds to, as well as they've been playing, I think they've won them 9 of 10. Yeah, I think that would be fun for ball to have the Cincinnati Reds get in. I got one of my best buddies is a Cincinnati Reds fan, and every year when the Reds bow out, he texts me saying they like a Dodgers gif and letting me know. So it'd be fun. It'd be fun for baseball to see the Cincinnati Reds get in. How well they've been playing. They've earned it. They've earned this. They've played the teams in front, and I know they control their own destiny now as they hold the tiebreaker over the New York Mets. So keep playing well, Reds. And Rock says doesn't want to see the D-backs in the playoffs. I get it. But got to play them now. Where is that postseason stuff at? Let me see. Let me see where the wild card's at as far as the NL third wild card. Arizona's a game back. They're a game back. So it's possible. They got to deal with the Dodgers though. Sorry, the Reds are not 9 of their last 10. My bad. They're 6-4 in their last 10, but they're on a 5-game heater. Sorry about that. Don't want to put any fake stuff out there. But yeah, they're playing good. Playing good ball. All right. Let's keep rolling through questions here again, everybody. But thanks for joining us on off day Dodgers stuff here. Let's see. Norm, will starters be allowed to stretch out even longer in the postseason? His opponents will work to get to the bullpen by taking a lot of pitches. Maybe. We've seen Dave Roberts kind of dip into that pitch count like a lot recently for a lot of guys. 110 stuff, 100 plus. He even said it. They're going to have to lean on him, and I think they're up for the challenge there. And that's where you see that kind of unified approach. They're all building off each other, and they have no problem doing it. Ohtani won't get there, though. Ohtani's not the one they're going to push. They're going to have a set plan for it, and they're going to be pretty confident with that set plan. But when it comes to Yamamoto, Glasnow, Snell, even Sheehan, man. Sheehan's been so good. If you were like loving what Sheehan had before he had this run, this breakout stuff, yeah, even Sheehan, man. He's been so good. Clayton Kershaw, however they want to factor it in, that's a conversation. But I think they know that his role is going to be a different one. So we'll stay tuned for how they're going to utilize Big 22. Yeah, Sheehan was dominant. Oh, Shiva sees it. Yeah, you see the vision. Let's see here. All right. Chad, I think we're good. Cool. I'll see you tomorrow. Please enjoy your day off. If you want to watch some baseball there's only 3 games going on today, and that's it. I know the San Diego Padres are with the Milwaukee Brewers. Is that right? I think they got the Brewers right now. Yeah, Brewers tonight. Get Braves Nationals, and then Giants Cardinals. That's all you got today. But enjoy the rest of your Monday. A lot of stuff to keep tabs on. If you want to go back and see the narrative I painted, please go back. Hope you see the vision. This is where the Dodgers are going to find out who in the back end of that bullpen from a right-handed set Dave Roberts can kind of hang his hat on there. But the offense is coming together. The offense is picking each other up. They're picking up the starters. They're doing their thing. They're picking up the bullpen when they can, when it's not insurmountable. And they're going from there. But the offense is feeding off each other. And that makes me happy. From that sense, I'm going to leave you to it. As always, my name is Scott Geirman. Thank you for tuning in to DodgerHeads Unplugged Tier 1s. Thank you so much. We're building a lot of momentum here. Dodger Blue leading into the postseason. We're going to be here every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. I'll keep you posted on social media. Anything changes on that front, but we're full steam ahead here. As always, guys, I'm going to keep saying it until I can't anymore. A lot of postseason momentum building up. I love that word momentum. We're going to keep it going here. Please enjoy the rest of your day. And as always, go Dodgers.